Hey guys, what's up? I just thought today I'd quickly throw together a video. Just installing a new map sensor into the 33, so I thought I'd just put together a small video, show that it's really not that hard and that anyone can do it as long as you have the right tools. So yeah, let's get into it. First step is, so obviously this is what I'm replacing. This is the map sensor I currently have. This is a 3-bar map sensor. Now the car has like a glitch at about 2,500 RPM. I don't know if it's the map sensor or if it's something else. However, I want to run more boost anyway, so I am upgrading to a EFI hardware 4-bar map sensor. Just so that we can run up to 35 pound boost. Now the other thing I like about this sensor, and one of the reasons I went for it, is it's a Deutsch plug, which means it's super easy to terminate, and I know there's going to be no loose connections, which I have had issues with that, with terminating those plugs, loose connections, stuff like that, so that's why I went Deutsch plug. So I have my brother's Deutsch plug kit. You can get these on the web for about 350 bucks, I think. Super handy kit. I'm going to steal one of his plugs, but yeah, it comes with a range of plugs, which is really handy. And then your pins. Got some heat shrink, got some cable obviously, and then I've just got a heat gun and then a drill for twisting the cable. Alright, for those who don't know, a map sensor is an analog voltage input. So if we look at these wires of focus, basically you'll have a positive, which is normally a solid colored wire. You'll then have the map signal, or a signal wire, and as you see, this one has an orange with a black stripe, so that's the signal. And then you have your ground. Alright, so if we get out the instructions, alright, so as I said, so you've got your 0 volt ground, your map signal, and your 5 volt supply. So that's looking at the sensor, and then so you know which way to pin the plug, and I'm going to match it on that sensor so that it's the same. Now again, Deutsch plugs are super simple, so all you do is once you've terminated the ends, you then simply just push it through and they just latch in. Alright, so all Deutsch plugs will have one of these, and basically that is just to keep the pins in place. Alright, so there we go, that's one plug in and done. So now we will do the harness or flying lead for this one. Basically I go Deutsch plug in here and Deutsch plug in there. It just makes it easier, you know, if anything goes wrong you don't have to really change much, you just have to get another plug. So yep, we'll do that now and get it sorted. Alright, so we finished the lead for the sensor. Alright, so now basically we just got to plug it in, and then I'll show you guys the laptop side of things. Alright, so I've just loosely put it in for now, just so that I can make sure it actually works, because we'd hate for it to not work and everything be tied in. So plugged in there, as you can see, orange to red, so, and then you've got your orange and black to your small black, and then ground to ground. So at least we know that we've got colors right, and then we double check this side, so as we know it was positive sensor signal and then ground, so wires should be correct. Alright, so this is only for the Haltech software. Other softwares will be similar, but obviously how you get to things will be different, but setup wise it should be fairly similar in the way that you calibrate the sensor and the way that you select to activate the sensor. So with Haltech software, we simply go to setup, which is here. We open setup, we go main setup. That opens this page. It might be hard to see with the light we got going on, but all right. So then we go to inputs, so inputs, and as we can see on my selection, I've got AVI2 manifold pressure sensor. Okay, so that's all you need to worry about there. Now we click map 2, which is that tab there, and this brings up your calibration table. So with the calibration table, as you see, we've got 3 cells. With the sensor that's in the car, I only need to use 2. However, for this sensor, as we can see, we've got 3 points there. All right, so we just need to note the pressures at those points, all right, and the voltages at those points. It's really hard to see, sorry. So you've got 0.2 volt, which is 3 psi or 20 kPa absolute, or 12 psi below atmospheric pressure. And then you've got atmospheric pressure, 0 boost pressure, and then we've got 45 psi, and so you've got 4.8 volts, 1.17, and like I said, 0.2. So all we're doing here is we relay those values into these 3 cells. So I'll do that now. All right, so for those out there, some key things to note. So these values, so we've got 3 psi or 20 kPa absolute, or 12 psi below atmospheric pressure. So you guys know there's a difference between gauge and absolute. The Haltex read in gauge, so just make sure you calibrate accordingly. Okay, so and then 0 and then 45. So as we can see, what I've got is I've got 0 and negative 12. I got 1.17 and 0 and 4.8 volts and 45 psi, which gives you this nice straight line. So that should be good to go. All we do now is we go apply, and then we go OK, and then normally it wants you to reboot the ECU, and we'll just make sure that it has saved. Yep, so as we can see, it has saved, and now we will start the car, and hopefully it works. Alright, let's see if it starts. It's alright. Sensor's working, so this is good. Alright, so there we go. That's it really. So new map sensors in. So fingers crossed all goes well when we stick it on the dyno, which should happen next week hopefully. I won't be able to get videos though because Mike has to do it when I'm at work, so unfortunately not. But yeah, so there we go. Any questions, send me a message and I'll help you out where I can. Take it easy.